Hello everyone, this is Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to the Unnamed Drink series. This is a series where I review drinks, and I don't have a name for it, so that's why I do that pause at the beginning of every program, when I review these drinks, that is. Honestly, mostly because it's just fun for me to do, you know. If I really wanted to give a name to this series, I would have done it years ago, but honestly, it's more fun to just do that than to come up with a name for this. Anyway, this is going to be I would say a pretty quick and pretty laid-back review. For those of you, and of course myself, having done this long enough, when it comes down to the way fast food releases go, you know that essentially it all undulates and it fluctuates, and there are various peaks and troughs when it comes down to the rate upon which these releases occur at. And right now, you know, for about the next week or so, things are going to be pretty quiet. Then next week, there's going to be a ton of releases, and I'm already getting a lot of preemptive requests for all of them. I think there's going to be new releases from Wendy's, from Burger King, and from McDonald's, so it's going to be busy, and I intend, if I'm able to get to all of them. But in the meantime, I thought, you know, just may as well take it easy for a little bit, and have a little bit of a fun, laid-back review. So this is a drink review, and it's for an item that, honestly, I'm just trying out because I really find it personally interesting. I don't know how necessarily broad the appeal is going to be, but I think it's cool. I want to try it out, and I thought, what the heck, I could make a review out of this, and here I am. So Sonic is coming out with a seasonal release. It's going to be available from now until early November, and it is called the Witch's Brew Slush Float. And what it is, it's available as a medium only, and it has three components. It has a tart green apple base, so that's like the slush aspect of it. Again, like a green apple, slushy sort of base to it. Then it has salted caramel bubbles, and it is accompanied with vanilla soft serve ice cream. So they say it's going to have a little bit of that tart apple, it's going to have some of the salted caramel, and then it's going to have some of that sweet, creamy vanilla ice cream to balance everything out. And they're, of course, just labeling this as, you know, a nice fall treat, especially Halloween-themed. And like I said, I thought, what the heck, it sounds cool, I'm interested in it, and I'd probably get it anyway, and then what the heck, I can make a review out of it, so here I am. You can get it as a medium only, and the price for it is $4. So, like I said, this is going to be a quick review. Honestly, I just want to try it out personally and see if it's any good or not, and to be completely honest, it's a bit of a relief not to be reviewing something from Taco Bell for once, because I feel like I've been just reviewing Taco Bell over and over and over again these last few weeks, so it's a little refreshing to try out something different, something from Sonic. Anyway, here's what it looks like. I know the setting and everything is bright, and it has to be, because I need all the lights and everything for, you know, the sake of the video. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, if it's going to look a little bleached out or whatnot. But you can sort of see the green base right there, and then the soft serve ice cream sort of mixed together with those little bubbles. Some people might say it looks good, and other people might say it looks like a lab experiment gone wrong. But it sounds good. I'm going to take a little thumbnail shot right here, because maybe that could work. Let's see. Anyway, here you can see it. And essentially, I'm just going to try it out, taste it, see if it's any good or not. At the top, there's the vanilla. And again, the different layers, you know, sort of mixed together, but not fully. It's more mixed in the middle there. But I'm going to try to be thorough and try a little bit of everything, and it'll certainly be interesting, nevertheless, to see how this is. So, like I said, laid back, easygoing review. Let's just see how this is. $4 for a medium one, but I'd say it's decent size anyway, and it's novelty item anyway. So let's find out if it's any good or not. The Witch's Brew Slush Float from Sonic, going in. I was able to get one of the bubbles. That's what I was hoping for. I think sipping it is actually helping mix everything together a little bit, which is cool. You can sort of see it coming together a little more now. Oh, it's cool. See, it's getting more of like a green color. You notice that? You get a few more of those bubbles. I'm curious about them. It's interesting. They're not really solid or anything. Some of them actually pop as they're being sipped upon, so this wouldn't constitute a choking hazard or anything like that. I'll take one more sip. Get some of the vanilla in there too. Well, I think evidently, I'm sure based on my reaction, the fact that I'm not necessarily recoiling in revulsion at this point. You know, I'm not sitting here and just getting up with the camera still running and just dumping it down the sink over there or anything like that. And given the fact that, you know, I think I took a good amount of sips, I think you could already infer that I'm pretty satisfied with this beverage, because indeed I am. I had a feeling it was going to be pretty decent, and I'm happy to say that feeling proved to be correct. It's, like I said, it's pretty simple. This is definitely what I would describe as a good fall dessert. And especially by that is the combination of the green apple, which again, that's the prevailing flavor here that you are going to notice. So if you get this and you're looking for a specific flavor, apple essentially is going to be it. But again, it's going to be more of a tart apple than it would be necessarily like a sweet apple. Hence the whole green apple element. But you're really going to notice that. That's like the whole base, and everything else is built upon that. So the apple is essentially the key here. That's going to be the main flavor. Also, though, what you will notice actually is that those salted caramel bubbles. Now, the interesting thing again is that they are not sturdy by any means. Now, if you've had drinks with things like this in them similarly, then you obviously already know how they are. But for those of you who haven't, some people might wonder, well, how do those things work exactly? Like, is it a hard candy? Is it something that I'm going to choke on? Is it something that, you know, how is that really going to work? But the things are so soft. Like I said, a lot of them are going to simply burst upon contact. It's like they have a very, very thin little, like, gelatinous seal. But even then, it's so thin and so fragile that most of them are going to burst even through the simple process of sipping it. And, you know, you're going to get hit with that concentrated blast of the salted caramel, which does complement the apple perfectly, as a matter of fact, which makes total sense. I mean, the combination of caramel and apples is classic, so there's nothing... That's not really much of a surprise, but, you know, I'm happy to say that they did indeed nail that, and it is a good flavor. And I think those two complement each other very nicely. And then the vanilla soft serve. Not only does it give the drink a little bit more of, I suppose, you know, an icy characteristic, it sort of solidifies things a little bit, which texturally speaking, I think that actually helps it. But secondly, that little vanilla sweetness that it provides as well, if you might find the tartness from the apple to be overwhelming, the vanilla provides a nice little balance. It provides a nice little sweetness, and it complements it very nicely. Like I said, I think this is a very simple drink. It's a pretty classic combination, so, you know, it's not like it necessarily required a ton of brainstorming, but it's a classic combination that's proven to work. It works in this case, well executed and enjoyable. I would say it's smooth, goes down easy. Like I said, those little bubbles pose no issue whatsoever as far as actually drinking this is concerned. And all the flavors go together nice. It's not overwhelmingly tart, nor is it overwhelmingly sweet. All the notes complement each other quite nicely and prevent one from being any more overbearing than the other. So, that's good to see there. And, yeah, again, everything just works here. Pleasant drink. Like I said, very seasonal. This is definitely a fall beverage. I definitely get, fall vibes when it comes down to consuming this. I like the color as well. I don't know how well, it shows up on the camera, but I don't know. I like the green element to it. I think it's cool. And $4 for it, but again, good size. I already thought I was taking a good amount of sips, and it feels like I hardly made a dent in it. So it's flavorful, and honestly, I think for a novelty item, you'd be getting your money's worth. I think it tastes good. And like I said, this was an item that I personally found to be interesting. I just wanted to get to the camera here tonight, try it out, and see if it actually is as enjoyable as I thought it would be. And I'm happy to say that it is. So this might be an item that, maybe not a lot of people have really heard about, especially with all these other releases coming up. It might be a little bit of, once again, an underrated sort of release. But limited time, be here till early November. Maybe think about it if you want. I would call it refreshing, but pleasant. Got that nice tart nature to it, but a little bit of sweetness too. It's nice. Good fall snack, I would say. So therefore, out of 10, I would give the Sonic Witch's Brew Slush Float. Honestly, I like it. I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. There's really nothing to complain about here. I think they got all the flavors nailed down. I think they balanced each other out. I like the way it looks. I think it's pretty good price-wise. I'm happy with it. So, yeah, I think it's just a fun little snack. There's one thing that I feel Sonic seems to do with, I would say, pretty good consistency. It's their drinks. Be that their soft drinks, their slushes, their floats. I think that's definitely their area of expertise, and I think they've continued to prove that with this latest release. And with that, like I said, just a little bit of a pretty quick review, I would say. I will promote this again just for the heck of it. Understand that I do a radio show in addition to this channel. I also do a podcast. They have operating costs. Unfortunately, they do. I wish they didn't, but unfortunately, they do. And those do add up from month to month. One way to support both this channel, but especially my radio show and my podcast, is to support it via Patreon. You can find my Patreon page in the description or the pinned comment down below, patreon.com/TheReportOfTheWeek. If you do support anything that I do on the Patreon, my little way of giving back, you can access all the additional content that I make, which is just radio shows and podcasts, that sort of additional content, on demand, thousands and thousands of hours of all sorts of my radio programs spanning back years and years. Just my way of giving back for your support. Anyway, if you want to consider it, patreon.com/TheReportOfTheWeek. Hope you understand why I plug this stuff, because if I didn't, no one would know it even exists, and that's just how it is. But that's all that I have for you. So it's going to be a busy week, probably in the next week or two. Again, got a bunch of releases coming up. Looking forward to trying them. And until then, that's about it for me. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week. This is the Unnamed Drink series. Take care.